Hey guys, it's me, Pokemon Bear HD, and today we have week 9 of the Hive Kakuna against Jake and the Virginia Tech Froakies, which his link will be down below in the description. And I have, seen him since he is in, many leagues, and I know he's in NPL minors, but I have never personally battled him. But I know he is very good, so definitely will be a challenge. And our team is still the Mega Kangaskhan, Keldeo, Sylveon, Z Metagross, Gliscor, Z Salazzle, Serena, Z Aerodactyl, Z Status Kyurem, Umbreon, and Lantern, while Jake's team is the Z Infernape, Z Tornadus Therian, Mega Venusaur, Mamoswine, Bronzong, Slowbro, Z Excelgor, Comfey, Licky, Alolan Muck, and Drampa. And one of the things that I do notice immediately is there's a kind of a speed tier gap between Infernape and Mamoswine / Mega Venusaur, which is pretty huge, hopefully allowing me to, take advantage of that with a couple of my mons. And then beyond that, there is a possibility of Trick Room, as my team is kind of fast, with the Bronzong being able to set it up, and then just multiple slower mons being there. But also, those slower mons provide a lot of fat on this team, so I do need a lot of power to take this team down. And so, with that being said, the first mon I decided to bring was the Mega Kangaskhan, which is running Double Edge, Crunch, Power Up Punch, Fake Out, with the Adamant nature being able to outspeed the Mamoswine or Mega Venusaur and below. And the reason I needed Double Edge over Return was to 2-hit KO Slowbro, or at least get close to it if I remember correctly, like with Rocks. And then obviously Crunch could hit it without the recoil, as well as hitting the Bronzong, and Power Up Punch obviously for the setup capabilities, and then Fake Out for priority, because I figured that Sucker Punch really wasn't needed because Infernape resists it, and so if I Fake Out, that's probably more reliable for the Infernape and Tornadus Therian, which are the only two mons I really would realistically Fake Out. So I figured I could get away with just running Fake Out rather than Sucker Punch. Then next up we have the Aerodactyl here with the Choice Band, Stone Edge, Aerial Ace, Crunch, and Pursuit, with enough speed to outspeed the entire team, being the Tornadus Therian being the benchmark. And with this, hopefully it allows it to be powerful enough to get the potential 2-hit KOs that it may need, or the OKOs on the faster things. And I misspoke by saying fast in the entire team because Excelgor, but regardless, a Nerve, make sure that no berries can, resist berries, go off, or healing berries, so that would be nice if that comes into play. But I know that because of the fat of the team, I felt like Banded was the most optimal to be able to do as much damage as I could immediately. Then next up we have Shuckaberry Lantern here with Scald, Volt Switch, Rest, Sleep Talk, which this is just a mainly Spadef, but also defensive, because I wanted it to potentially lure the Mamoswine, being able to take the Earthquake and then get the Scald off. And it also helps me take on Infernape and mainly Tornadus, as all of them are big threats, and the mixed defenses can help me deal with both. And that's why I wanted the longevity of Rest Sleep Talk, since that is multiple threats that I'd have to deal with. Then next up we have Choice Banded Metagross and another Choice Bander, but like I said, fat team requires some power, as my team kind of lacks immediate power. And so we're Adamant, max attack with enough speed to outspeed a max speed Alolan Muck. And Meteor Mash and Headbutt Thunder Punch covers the team pretty well. with Bullet Punch being solid priority. Then next up we have the Gliscor here with Toxic or Poison Heal, Earthquake knockoff Roost Taunt, being a mostly especially defensive variant with some defense. Like I said, this also can help me with Infernape and Tornadus potentially, as well as an Acelgor and then a Muck. So it's kind of just a blanket check to a lot of the potential threats. As well as with Taunt, I can make sure that Venusaur can't heal up on me, so I can just wear it down very... I mean, it's going to probably take a while, it'll be slowly, unfortunately, but regardless, it can't really beat me as long as I taunt it, since it can't Synthesis or Leech Seed on me. And Earthquake plus knockoff, just hits the rest of the team just fine, so I feel like with the Taunt Roost, I can kind of just outlast a lot of Mons. And then lastly is yet another Choice Mon, being Choice Specs, Salazzle being with the Fire Blast, Sludge Wave, Dragon Pulse, and Toxic. The Toxic is just there because I didn't need a fourth move, and I highly doubt I'll click it, but you never know. So Corrosion lets me Toxic any of the Mons, even the Mega Venusaur and Bronzong, and the Alolan Muck. With Fire Blast, Sludge Wave, Dragon Pulse just covering the entire team very well. And, at least in my opinion, this is probably the best way that I break the team, because for the most part I think it can 2-hit KO the entire team, barring a very specially defensive, maybe Alolan Muck or Licky Licky. So I think this will definitely be the key, as it seems like it has been every week for my team with Salazzle, which I've used way more than I thought I would. So I will be back with Team Preview. And we are back with Team Preview as Jake has decided to bring the Slowbro, Infernape, Mega Venusaur, Mamoswine, Bronzong, and Tornadus T. And so when I'm seeing this, I definitely realized that my Lantern matches up actually pretty well against most of the team, barring the Venusaur. And so that's actually what I want to lead with, because I think that can Volt Switch me into a Mon that I want to put offensive pressure with, or potentially get a surprise KO, or just a lot of damage off in general. So that is what I'm going to do, as he decides to lead off with the Infernape. So I'm just going to click Scald. I'm not sure what he wants to do, but I can gauge it, as he actually goes for the Earthquake, popping the Shucka Berry, which is, cool, but kind of unfortunate at the same time, as the Scald does not kill, but that does a ton of damage, so I'm pretty sure he's banded. So I'm going to go into Gliscor, as he actually goes into his Venusaur. So I get my Toxic Orb off, as I am just going to Earthquake to gauge some damage, because I want to see how much bulk is in it. But he actually is Curse, and I'm like, no. Gonna taunt that, because Curse is a problem. Like, looking at my team, my super effective moves are Air Lace and Zen Headbutt, so that's not a good plan. So goes for the Petal Blizzard, doesn't do a whole lot, so I can just keep Earthquaking, and I don't have to Roost, where then the Grass move would be super effective against me. So that's nice, as the Poison Heal gets me back to a good amount of health. And so with the Tornadus in, I'm going to go into the Lantern, as he predicts that with the Mamoswine switch, so he can just Earthquake and I'm dead, because I just don't have Switch into Ground Ice at all. So I see that he is Life Orb, so I know I can go into this and just immediately go for the Fire Blast. There's not really anything that wants to come in on me, as that does a ton of damage to the Mega Venusaur, as he does end up sacking it to the Salazzle. So that's nice, at least, but he does bring in the Bronzong, oddly enough, so I'm assuming it's like Aqua Berry or Heat Proof something, so I'm just going to switch out, as he actually just goes for Rocks instead of the Earthquake, so he does get me there for sure, as I potentially could have 2-hit KO'd it. And then, since I'm in with the Gliscor, I go for the knockoff. I see that I don't knock anything off, so I know this Tornadus is Z move. As he goes for the Hurricane, it does miss, unfortunately for him, as I'm going into my Metagross, and he goes for Taunt just to make sure I don't get, I assume, Rocks up. But, that doesn't matter to me, as I can just go for the Thunder Punch expecting the Slowbro, but since he stayed in, knocks him out. As now he can go into his Infernape and pretty much claim a kill. And then he goes for Flare Blitz, but I actually live on 1, and it does enough damage to me that he dies to recoil, so that's cool, but you know, he has ways to be my, it's you know, I lived, but Mamoswine's just going to come in and kill me, so it doesn't really matter. But it does actually help me get, you know, life orb damage on the Mamoswine, so that's, you know, nice in the long run. As now I can go into my Kangaskhan, get my Mega off, and go for the Power-Up Punch, expecting him to switch, except he doesn't switch, and that's a huge problem, which I do crit him, thankfully, with the first one. That does kind of, does help, again, get more damage on this, but I'm gonna die, because he goes for Superpower, and I did not expect him to stay in, because I was so certain that the Slowbro was probably just Rocky Helmet. Like, everyone brings a Rocky Helmet against me because of the Kang. So, he is weakened, as he can now just go into his Bronzong is on my Fire Blast, which I do 55 to him, so I could have 2-hit him earlier, so I'm kind of upset that I didn't stay in earlier. But I just Fire Blast again. It does a ton to Slowbro for being resistant move, but obviously it's not going to do enough. But I'm just going to keep Fire Blasting, excuse me, because I don't really have a switch in this anymore, so he can Scald, you know, get himself a kill. And now I can go into my Aerodactyl, and I'm going to Pursuit this, because I want this gone. Because if it regenerates, that's a problem, that I can't beat him. And so I do Pursuit him. You know, he might not know if I'm banded or not. So now I'm going to have to switch, because I'm pretty sure he's not going to risk me attacking again. So he's going to Ice Shard, and thankfully I get that right. As now I'm going to go for the Meteor Mash, expecting him to want to switch out since he only has one more Life Orb hit. And it does actually give him a Papa Berry. And so I'm going to Meteor Mash again. Does a ton. And he Earthquakes. So now here I have some explaining to do before this turn goes. Based off of my calcs, I'm pretty sure a plus or a neutral Bullet Punch can kill this. It's a roll. It would be a roll, but as far as what I was calcing, it had a amazing chance, and it was, at least I thought at the time. I don't remember for sure because it's now been a while since I battled, but it was more than a 90% chance to kill with the Bullet Punch. So I didn't want to risk the Meteor Mash miss. So I'm actually going to switch out into my Aerodactyl. You know, assuming the only way he kills me is Earthquake, or even gets close to killing me is Earthquake. So I'm kind of assuming he's going to go for Earthquake. So this to me seems like my best play at this point. However, he does actually predict that, and he's going to go for that Gyro Ball. And so he gets me there, but I'm still thinking, hey, if Bullet Punch kills this, then obviously I just win, because he can't kill me with Ice Shard. So I Bullet Punch, and I think I either get him in roll, or I just was bad at calcing, and I lose the game, because I can Bullet Punch kill this now, but he has one more Life Orb hit in his Mamoswine, and Ice Shard definitely will kill me at this range, so I definitely choked this game away. That's for sure. And it's disappointing. Like I said, I either calced it wrong, or just had the wrong mindset. It was 90%. So 90% for just Meteor Mashing again, especially since I got the attack raise that really should have made me just stay in. Like I think that was just terrible mindset on my part. It was a 90% accurate move. I should just go for it. Like that was dumb on my part. So good on Jake for predicting me in the end game to make sure that he still could get that win. Very good game, obviously, going down to a 0-0 loss, unfortunately for us, but we're not quite out of the playoffs, but it's not looking good. That's for sure. It's going to depend on other people getting losses, but we're still have a chance, and we can't have a winning season anymore, so that's pretty unfortunate, but hopefully we can pull out a win next week and put ourselves into the playoffs. Thank you for watching. Bye!